LiberalViewer presents.
So when Nancy Pelosi told Talking Points Memo this week that she knew a lot about Newt Gingrich's ethics problems as Speaker of the House from the time she served on the Ethics Committee investigating him in the 1990s, the Fox News coverage predictably attacked Nancy Pelosi, claiming she threatened to release confidential material, which she never really did, but what was really biased about the Fox News coverage was the way it never informed viewers that Newt Gingrich was the first Speaker of the House ever disciplined by a vote of the House of Representatives, and that Newt Gingrich admitted to and was found guilty of making false statements to the Ethics Committee, as you can see, for example, in the whitewashed explanation of Newt Gingrich's misconduct that Fox News contributor Byron York gave to Fox News anchor Neil Cavuto in this clip.
He was a target of an ethics complaint by Democrats who claimed that he had violated tax laws when he did a videotaped college course, which they said was designed to gather political support using tax-exempt funds. It was a long investigation. That's what Pelosi's referring to. Gingrich admitted to not seeking enough legal advice before doing it, paid a huge fine, $300,000. It was referred to the IRS, which did an investigation, and 2 or 3 years later, after nobody cared anymore, the IRS vindicated Gingrich, said he didn't break any laws in doing what he did.
Of course, what Newt Gingrich admitted to was making false statements of fact to the Ethics Committee, not failing to seek enough legal advice. But, of course, rather than correcting that misinformation from Fox News contributor Byron York, the Fox News anchor Neil Cavuto responded like this.
Sort of like the old Labor Secretary Ray Donovan thing, exonerated on 20-some-odd counts. How do I get my good name back?
But, of course, Newt Gingrich was not exonerated of the ethics violation, which he actually admitted that he made false statements to the Ethics Committee, as you can see detailed, for example, on page 78 of the House Ethics Committee report at 1.usa.gov/NewtEthics, and the dishonest whitewash of Newt Gingrich's ethics problems on Fox News was not confined to Neil Cavuto's news analysis show, because the next day, Fox News' supposedly straight news program, America's Newsroom, also reported on the controversy in a three-way debate format. But even though Fox News contributor Bob Beckel was there from the left to supposedly balance out Fox News contributor Andrea Tantaros on the right, never in the entire segment were viewers ever informed that Newt Gingrich was the first Speaker of the House ever disciplined by a vote of the House of Representatives, and that Newt Gingrich admitted to and was found guilty of making false statements to the Ethics Committee. But instead, viewers were led to believe Gingrich did nothing wrong, as you can see in this clip.
By the way, let me just tell viewers what Pelosi said to TalkingPointsMemo.com that started all this. She said, in part, I know a lot about him, meaning Gingrich. I served on the investigative committee that investigated him. 4 of us locked in a room in an undisclosed location for a year.
And they found nothing.
And again, rather than correcting that misinformation from Fox News contributor Andrea Tantaros, supposedly straight news anchor Bill Hemmer actually confirmed her misinformation, as you can see in this earlier clip.
If her investigation was so credible and wasn't such a joke, wouldn't they have found something on Newt Gingrich? Wouldn't those 83 charges not have been repudiated as false?
You make a good point. He did pay a fine, $300,000, but everything else went to the side and was not proven in the end.
So that's the most about the misdeeds of Newt Gingrich in the 1990s that Fox News viewers got from that supposedly straight news segment, and what's worse is that story actually involved only a small part of the evil for which Newt Gingrich was responsible in the 1990s. Not only was Newt Gingrich one of the chief architects of the new style of personal partisan political attacks that have so poisoned our politics in recent years, but I can recall back in those early years of my internet political arguments posting an April 1995 analysis on a message board titled, "Is Newt a Felon?" because of the thousands of dollars Newt Gingrich took from a business lobbyist, with a note attached saying, quote, "Newt, thanks again for the help on today's committee hearing," unquote, which looks a lot like a felony violation of the gratuity section of the federal bribery statute, and I find it hard to believe Republicans will actually nominate for president a man about whom the question, "Is he a felon?" can legitimately be asked. Unless they're only watching Fox News' coverage of Newt Gingrich, of course, but I want to know what you think. Will the Republican Party actually nominate Newt Gingrich for president with all his evil baggage from the 1990s? And if that does happen, would the Republican nomination of Newt Gingrich for president guarantee the re-election of President Barack Obama?
YouTube, you decide.